up, everyone? Even though we're past Larry David's 3-day rule, Happy New Year. Welcome to the first brunch gimmick of the year. I am Laurence, and well, as you can see, I am alone this week. The majority of our Love Wrestling crew is all Wrestle Dynasty and Wrestle Kingdom out. They've been up late, streaming all ends of the internet. So I am running the ship today. We might be a little bit of a shorter stream. I've also got Mars' Specialist versus Kushida loaded up for us to watch. Of course, we've got Sandy in the chat. Happy New Year, Sandy. Thanks for joining us again. Always great to see you in the chat. And it is indeed officially the clock might have struck midnight on 2024, but 2025, it's Tiffy time all year as we got our cash in on SmackDown, which was a lot of fun. Also, massive wrestling weekend. We had Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty this weekend. If for all those like people staying up incredibly late and into the early morning, running the gauntlet, as it were. Shout out to all the streamers and everyone who did that and everyone who just wanted to watch it live. I just got through Wrestle Dynasty. I haven't watched Wrestle Kingdom yet. I'm going to talk a little Wrestle Dynasty because I really enjoyed that show. That honestly, AEW, great job showing off the differences, and showing off the talent between New Japan and AEW. There, they picked the right talent to go over there. So much fun. Really a great show throughout. It wasn't that long. I felt like, especially compared to like other New Japan shows or like Wrestle Kingdom. It didn't feel as long, and like I greatly enjoyed it. There are some big highlights there. If you checked it out, let me know what you thought. Also, we're going to be talking today a little bit right before a Raw on Netflix goes live. Those of us in the international community got Netflix got a little bit of content actually drop pretty much at midnight as the WWE Network went away. Officially uprises the new Netflix, and they dropped more content than I thought they would. Honestly, I was quite pleasantly surprised. There are a lot of great moves with subtitles and stuff that they're doing with Netflix, which is a very smart move. And like, I'll give my like formal review in a minute of how I felt so far. With like, I've pretty much been on it all weekend. Still have the WWE Network in Germany. That is crazy. Do you not have the Netflix deal that? Because here in Canada, we have everything officially formally on Netflix. Yeah, just use NordVPN, which is a sponsor. Thank you for that, Sandy, the real professional here. NordVPN, use promo code Love Wrestling, I believe, Laurence. Don't quote me on that. I'm not great at this. But yes, we had the first batch of content released, which there's a lot of like. So actually, we'll get into it now, and then I'll get into a little Wrestle Kingdom, and then we'll watch Mars' Specialist versus Kushida for the back half hour of the show. So officially, Monday is going to start the first live show, but we got the first drop of content on on Netflix. And so far, so good, I would say. They warned us beforehand that it obviously won't be the full sort of WWE Network library. There's not going to be as much, like, so far there's nothing, like, there's no ECW tab yet. There's no WCW tab. Because as they said, a lot of people don't watch it. Like, it wasn't their most used stuff. And I tend to agree. Like, it really is for like nerds like us who just want to go back and watch Glory Days or learn more about wrestling. But as of right now, like under the NXT tab, up till 2022, they have every episode of NXT, and then anything older than 2022, they have just the takeovers. So if you like look in the episode tab, they've got 5 takeovers in each, which again is absolutely fair. Not very many people are going to be going back to watch a random 2017 episode of NXT. Like I'm sure it takes up like a lot of bandwidth or thing, and so it's easier for them to drop like the stuff that's most watched on the network. Which so far they've dropped pretty much almost every major pay-per-view is on there. There are some stuff that's missing that I found. Like weirdly, No Way Out, the first ever pay-per-view I went to, No Way Out 2003, live from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, not on there. They've got the other No Way Outs, like the No Way Out the year before, 2002, and No Way Out 2004. Just 2003, for some reason, not there. I'm sure you could go through and find other notable absences. They've also got but like throughout, I felt it like, for me personally, it works better than the WWE Network did for me. Like it streams better. The content is a little bit harder to get to, just how it's organized, but it's not like something that's really, really annoying. It's just like searching. Yeah, I get like you just have to either search for stuff, but like it's done episodically, every pay-per-view and stuff. Which like, oh, good morning, Ophelia. Go Birds indeed, as they are just started their final regular season game, playing only their backups. Sadly, Saquon Barkley will not be breaking the record today, as he formerly is inactive, as he is also on my shirt right there. Look at the other side. There we go, Saquon. Go Birds. Peggy, you can see sometimes Wednesday night with Big Bad Boris doing AEW live stream right here on the Love Wrestling Network. It's really fun to have Peggy on there. Please. Oh, and of all people, probably the first time he is checking out this show, my older brother, Alex Cartier, oh, yes. I think you're talking about Wrestle Dynasty. Absolutely, Rose. I'll get into that in a second. Because, oh my God, like one of the standouts I instantly think of in the show, like that Kenny Omega, like the Kenny Omega match, Jude did not, like it's insane to think he had a life-threatening illness. I know for a fact, it'd be funny if like literally having an argument with my older brother in the chat. Yeah. But yes, the Kenny Omega match, it shouldn't be much of a ride, but the dude just went through a life-threatening illness. And he wrestled a hell of a match against Gabe Kidd. They beat the living Christ out of each other. It was bloody. They were just decking each other with chairs. And to think this man not only had his career almost end, but nearly died and is back in the ring and looks as great as ever. And somebody who just absolutely fits perfectly in Japan. Brody King coming out to God's Hate. Just like that match with Finley was absolutely, that crossbody into the gate was amazing. I was losing my mind. Those were two dudes who, like, there's two matches like that. There was that and the Kushida, the Takeshita match with Ishii. Those two matches were just two dudes beating the holy ghost out of each other for like 20 minutes, like 15 to 20 minutes, and it was absolutely perfect. It was everything you need from New Japan. Like, I've heard mixed things. I haven't watched Wrestle Kingdom yet. What's funny is my brother's in the chat, and we usually do a Wrestle Brunch for Wrestle Kingdom, which is like usually a few days later, because in previous years it aired during the week, and we'd usually hold off and watch it all together, just a group of friends eating brunch. I thought you were on my side, Peggy. Don't let him slander you, Alex. God dang it. Everyone, the whole chat's turned on me. But yes. And Sandy just here for Solo. I love you, Solo. I love you. But yes, if you're not a big New Japan guy, like I'm not, ironically, my brother is a massive New Japan fan. Like, I don't watch it as regularly. Yeah, sadly, we're too busy for Wrestle Brunch this year. We've got a lot going on. But it's like the Wrestle Kingdom and this year Wrestle Dynasty 2 are really great entry points to seeing the different stars in there. Like, that was the first time I've seen Kenny Omega was during a Wrestle Kingdom. And man, like it's like, as everyone knows, it's sort of a down period for New Japan right now. It sucks because I love the idea of Zack Sabre Jr. being on top. Like, he's truly one of my favorite wrestlers going. He is incredibly talented, and like, it's just sad that he's like the champion of this downward period where they've lost a lot of stars, where it at times feels that New Japan's just straight up become a feeder system to AEW. And like, that part sucks a little bit, because I would very much like, I want Gabe Kidd to stay in New Japan. I don't want him, like, I think they very much need him, and he will very much thrive there. Like, he still has a lot, like, more stuff to do there. And like, Gabe Kidd, again, hell of a showing with Kenny Omega, which is hard to have a bad match with Kenny Omega, but like, man, those two guys matched up perfectly with each other. I was pleasantly surprised. Like, I did not know what shape Kenny Omega would be in. I was definitely worried going into it, how he was talking about his illness, and for him not to miss a step at all and just throw brutal chair shots to each other, beating the hell of each other. Even like the main event with Ricochet, again, just New Japan Ricochet, something slightly different, had a great match in the main event. That was a lot of fun. It was a little shorter on the shorter end, but it was still a lot of fun. Ricochet killed it. I felt the whole card, like, a lot of people felt better about this card than the New Japan card. When I was like hopping into live streams last night and just checking out, because I like wasn't going to watch it live like the last couple nights, and like, I've got some mixed reviews about the main event from Wrestle Kingdom. I'll watch that myself probably later today. But the Wrestle Dynasty has gotten rave reviews all the way around. Like, definitely a great show. Yeah, Sandy, SmackDown this weekend. We can get into that too. SmackDown was great. The 3-hour SmackDown format. It's going to be a lot for us in the content creation community to catch up on everything, but thank God it's on SmackDown, so I can watch, on Netflix, so I can watch a couple hours one night and finish it Saturday morning with breakfast. Like, it makes it a lot easier to watch the next morning when it was on like Sportsnet and you can't watch the replay and I'd have to wait for like Saturday morning or just download it. But now that it's on Netflix, the replayability is going to be a lot better. And I'm like excited for that. I can like catch up on Raw and SmackDown at like every weekend, whatever I missed. But yes, we got a new blue canvas, the Raw one. The rumored Raw one is full of ads, which is weird that the SmackDown one is. I guess because SmackDown isn't on Netflix in the States. Whereas that's why they filled this one full of ads, because they need to get their ads in where they can. Because I'm still uncertain what the ad situation is going to look like going forward on Netflix. Like, I don't know if it's just going to be Netflix ads. Like, I'm certain they're not going to want commercials for other streaming services on their thing while they're live. So the WWE is that's more than likely the situation. But yes, I like the blue canvas, looked great. And I like the idea that before this massive, what feels straight up like a WrestleMania size Raw, they did give Tiffany Stratton her moment this week on this SmackDown, because this week is going to be so, like, it will be hard for anyone to get any air because they are loading this week up with stars. Like, The Rock announcing is going to be there. John Cena is going to be starting his retirement tour. You've got Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Like, it's so top heavy this week that it was a very smart move to give Tiffany Stratton her cash in on Friday and give her that moment. And they credit to Nia Jax, who also put in great work throughout this whole thing of like helping Tiffany Stratton turn, and like slowly by slowly, just Nia Jax having enough of that sort of Damocles roving over her head of her friend possibly turning on her and just getting angrier and angrier at her. As she's like, they kept teasing it, and finally like turning on her, hitting her with the briefcase, getting that KOD hit in, like, which was like, man, Bianca Belair is truly the best. Like that KOD picking up Nia Jax is a visual I'll never get old. Just most insane amount of power, and like hitting that KOD and then hitting the world's prettiest moonsault. Like great job throughout for everyone there. I quite enjoyed the finish of SmackDown, like both the finish of SmackDown and this. Like this was well done. It was well overdue. Our own Zach Ralph very excited that he doesn't have to deal with the briefcase for the next few months, for another 6 months till the next Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Which again, I don't mind it. It leads to exciting moments like this. Like, granted, it's a lot of the times the same sort of deal, but like I greatly enjoyed Tiffany holding it on for a little longer this year, especially that the men's one was cashed in so quick. Like Tiffany had months where she was like pretty much the entire run, and she's the only Money in the Bank trophy, and like giving her that like sort of like highlight of being the main story there at the Money in the Bank and paying it off like they did was great. And now they gave her a chance to have her own moment on SmackDown, because the next week's just going to be all the fallout of Raw and what's going to happen, like especially as like their TV like deal changes within like the next week. It was a good chance to put over. It was very smart, and like to do it on a smaller Raw before one of the biggest weeks and months in pro wrestling. Like we've got the Royal Rumble at the end. We're completely forgetting, like almost lost in ourselves. We've got a hell of a match that's being that they're doing great build to between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. I'm very excited about that build. That ladder match is going to be a lot of fun. They announced they're hanging up both titles, which I do like that they are keeping the Wing Eagle around. And like we all know Kevin Owens is not gonna win, which sucks. I want him to win so bad. I want him to grab that title. He's just working so hard and so well, and like his character is so great right now. But like it's also announced this week that it will more than likely be Cena versus Cody at Mania. More than likely for the heavyweight title, where a lot of people expect Cena to win, to capture the title, which like I have mixed feelings about. Like I don't think somebody who's leaving at the end of the year should necessarily get that every time, but like I get it from let's on a like very good level, let's kick Ric Flair a little further back in the history books to number 2, where he deserves. Like having Cena as the sort of winningest champion in history makes sense, because he is the prototypical, like the absolute face of WWE, the person who you want out front. And especially as he moves to Hollywood, like you want him as the person you could like easily point to and be one of the greatest of all time and one of the greatest ever WWE runs. So yeah, like that is looking more and more penciled in for Mania. How we get there are a lot of different ways. We've also got what might happen with CM Punk. Will he get it? It looks like he could still get the night one main event. There's a lot of stories that can tell that can get him the night one main event. But like what Gunter might do, there's still a lot up in the air. But yes, SmackDown, a lot of fun. I think it was a great leading into this week, which is going to be a massive week for the Netflix launch. Again, like personally right now, I would say I'm giving like the product they currently have up there with the matches and pay-per-views a solid B. I think getting like they've got good stuff up there that can keep you entertained. Like I love going back and watching the old NXT takeovers. I spent like a good chunk of my Saturday doing that. And greatly enjoyed that. Like, and you do get sucked in because they do it episodically. You do accidentally get sucked in the Netflix binge where like it just one episode ends and it goes right into another NXT takeover. And like, oh, like you go from like Nia Jax being like promo to her debuting to her winning the title. Listen, Sandy, I would very much like to see when I like NXT. Very much like what they're doing right now. I work in the mornings during the week. So if I'm going to do, I know it's hard for JPJ because they already do watch enough, like JPJ and Giroux watch enough wrestling during the week and have lives and also do other projects outside of Love Wrestling. So it's very hard for them. Yeah, and JPJ and Affiliate do watch alongs on JPJ's channel. So you could I will see what I like. It would have to be like an evening one if I like commit myself to that. But I greatly enjoy NXT, especially those. I was watching those old NXTs. Those are a lot of fun. Like they definitely did a good job because like they just put up the takeovers pre 2022. But that like there's a lot of good content there. There's more content than I thought there would be on like from the first launch week. And like I was pleasantly surprised by that. Like it was a good move to them when like people were going to be home and hungover, and for them to throw up like a whole mess of pay-per-views and stuff immediately. I greatly appreciate that on the first and the second. Like definitely love that. But like I promised, and since I'm solo today, we're going to be watching a match too while we chat a little bit more. I'm just going to hit share screen. We've got Marsa Specialist versus Kushida, sorry. I am very tired. Hanging on by a thread. Boom, share screen. Make screen big. Need to lower the volume because Spencer's super loud. Entrance because I don't want to get DMCA'd. Oh yeah, I've got to take the banners down. Wait,
enters the ring and Mars the Specialist. He knows what time it is.
There we go. Oh, I think I know what I did wrong. Well, I'm just going to fix it 1 second.
The following contest is your main event, and it's for the Love Pro Wrestling
Grand
Championship. This match with a 30-minute time limit will be decided by.
I can't seem to get it to go full. Oh wait, there it is. That's why. That was on me. I had scrolled down. Fixed it, guys. I fixed it. Honestly, Kushida just finished in TNA. His contract just ran up. I'm going to lower the volume a little bit. See. Yeah, and I thought this was an apropos match considering that.
Introducing your champion, hailing from Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Am I lagging? Really? I'm gonna lower the. I can work on that. Is that better? Did I? Okay. We're good. I tried to touch something on one of my cords.
And our main event and final match of 2024 is underway. Laurence, the specialist, defending against Kushida. I want to take a quick second.
My brother with the great shout here. Kushida versus Kyle O'Reilly from Best of the Super Juniors 2015 is a must watch for Kushida. Absolutely.
And of course, in professional wrestling, the fact that you
we were lucky to have him to close out the year in the main event. And as just announced on New Year's Eve, mentioning Marge's hometown, LPW are making our Calgary debut coming up for LPW Press Play, where you can expect guests like Ali Catch and Victor from the Ascension are going to be there.
Right across the cheekbone.
Among all your other LPW regulars, huge show as we spread the LPW love all around Alberta and for hopefully all around Canada soon enough.
Using the ropes, using that athleticism.
As first announced by Ali Catch's Twitter, accidentally, well, like 2 hours a little early. Okay. I'm going to back away from my cords.
And this is kind of similar.
It's weird that it did that twice.
We saw last month with Mars, the specialist, and Blake Christian kind of feeling out his opponent, seeing what they have to offer. Another calling out in the center of the ring. Mars goes behind, takes the waistlock.
Yes, I agree with you, Sandy. But like, I do have hope WWE, like under Triple H, there's a slight chance he might get used better. But like, I'm sure he's happier in New Japan, and like TNA treat him a little better and give him more time. So like, I'm waiting. I'm honestly waiting to see how they treat Penta too. Like Penta potentially debuting this week. Like this is a big week in professional. We just got through this New Japan weekend. We've got like a bunch of stuff happening. We've got a bunch of stuff potentially happening on Wednesday in AEW with the Battle Royal, where you can get debuts, like possibly Baron Corbin debuting there. He was seen backstage. You can see potentially Speedball debuting this week in the Battle Royal, as he should be finishing up his visa process here in Montreal, and probably will be able to head back to the States momentarily. Oh, it is cold. It is cold today. It is one of those, definitely. It is presently minus 12 Celsius. I think it snowed last night. It looked like when I went to go grab groceries this morning, it looked like fresh snow. Miro is one of those many. Yep, it's that time of year. Ophelia. Minus 16 in Edmonton right now. It is present minus 12 or 13 here. I don't know what's going on my computer. It's the first time this has happened. Okay, we're good. As for what's with Miro, I think they're paying him just to stay home right now. It's very much both sides are at loggerheads, I feel, from everything I've read. Like, they don't really have creative for him. And if they're giving him creative, it's stuff that he doesn't want to necessarily do from what I've heard. Like, see, that's nice. That is early spring weather for us. It's 8 Celsius for San Diego. That would be like winter's coming to an end. Yeah, that's the same thing here. It's like minus 12, and it's probably closer like minus 20 with the wind. Because when that wind picks up, it sucks. It sucks so hard. But yeah, Miro, it's very much one of those people, like one of the list of people there at AEW that like they seemingly don't have creative for, don't know quite what to do with. Good time. But like I would like to see that solved one way or another. Because again, like I would like to see Miro on the TV again. One of those people in AEW that just got a little bit and kind of stop booking a lot.
Rolling Mars over. Mars trying to take the left leg. She's able to do so. Floating over.
They can't move. What the hell's going on my computer? There's something I'm going to fix after the stream.
Free left hand to firing shots to the ribs, trying to create some separation. Shoves Kushida off. Big shoulder tackle from the challenger. Charging the ropes. Mars drop.
Also, you got NXT New Year's Evil on Tuesday, where it looks like there's going to be a massive changing of the guard there, both in the men's and division.
Into the second row.
Like you got Omafemi more than likely going over, and Julia more than likely going over by the end of the month. Either showing up. Either showing up at the within the coming weeks with the transfer window that they're doing with WWE, or the transfer window, the not a draft. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see Trick and Roxanne on the main roster, either within like a week or two after today, or straight up in the Royal Rumble, like, and then like debut after that. But I think their time in NXT is coming to an end, which like both of them I feel are ready for that main roster. Roxanne especially. Like everyone's been waiting for Roxanne to go up for so long. Ophelia say Roxanne taking a break and showing up the Rumble. Yeah, like she's already made many Rumble appearances before. But yeah, like I feel like the Rumble's a great spot for her to show up. And then they do that like thing where they're like, which they did last year, and like where like both general managers try to sign her. Because she is like, it does make her also set her up as a big star. Because she, again, you've got a lot of people from TNA as well wrapping up their stints this year. Joe Henry, I'm not 100% sure on his contract status, but you got Josh Alexander. That's a cool submission. And Jordan Grace. Both contracts are coming up within a few weeks.
You can see that right shin across the face of the champ. Mars got to make sure to keep his shoulder.
So you've got like the potential of a lot of like former, well, now would then be former teams showing up at the Rumble.
Been over in position again. And thus far, early on in this match, Kushida appears to be.
I can't believe you're declaring. Well, it's official. My brother declaring for the Royal Rumble this year. Now, as somebody who's been through many a match with him, I'll be honest, You told me this every year, and I always bet money on you, especially that wrestling betting is a thing now. And I am very, very much in debt. Every year, like, I'm winning it. Go over my brother. And you never even show up.
Control of that left arm, bring it up. Again, trying to hyperextend that elbow.
That's right here in the brunch gimmick. Alex Cartier declaring for the Royal Rumble.
We've seen over the last year in particular, Mars take a substantial amount of punishment, but able to absorb it and come back. He moved that left arm just as
JBL is showing up like I wouldn't be surprised if he literally, like, credit to him, showing up at the most random indies in the world. Like, he's literally shown up everywhere within the last few months. So, yep, also formally announced, both JPJ and Pluggo will be covering the Royal Rumble for us this year, as it is really close to Pluggo in Indianapolis, in Pluggo's home state. And in case Pluggo watches this back or sees it, go Irish, who are in the semifinal. Ironically, they'll be playing on my birthday this week on January 9th. But yeah, I'm looking at it very much like I'm gonna have that conversation with Spencer soon. I'm debating whether I want to go. I definitely want SummerSlam this year. That is very much on my list of stuff that I want to go to. Also, because there are other shows outside of GCW announced they're doing another one of their mall shows they just had at the same mall, at the Dream Mall, I think it's called, nearby the venue. And that show is really cool. I want to check that out. And also, I'd very much like to do media there for that week, as I've never done one of the big fours yet, and I quite enjoy SummerSlam.
Version of the abdominal stretch, but Mars able to get his head free and then just use his power. Almost like a Samoan drop, and that might be the key to victory for Mars.
Oof, 1, 2, boom.
Used to being the technician, perhaps strength and explosiveness might be the key here. He may not be able to hold with Kushida, especially with.
Yep, Rhino 2 of Free Agent. He would be fun to show up in the Royal Rumble. Or somebody that could also, like, it's funny because he did it before. He was literally in NXT before to help out, to be like the veteran in NXT years ago. So I don't know if he would want to return that to that position. Okay, what the fuck is going on? I don't know if he'd want to return to that position, but like, or if like WWE would want him back there, but like he would be fun at least to show up. And WWE also was an embarrassment of riches for the great roster of talent. Like where like there's
nice drop kick. There's the explosiveness.
They don't have to lean as hard on legends.
Not getting pinned, but wear down his opponent. Kushida rolling out on the apron, but Mars not going to let him get far. There's that venture move again, grabbing hold of that left arm, using that top rope to try to pop that shoulder out.
Jeez, hard-hitting match. Love more of this specialist. I've seen he's been coming out more out east recently too, so hopefully you could see him in Montreal soon.
Kushida again, a hold of that left arm. swinging, perhaps maybe back.
Yeah, I think he did that before, or at least the veteran in the locker. Like they brought him in as like veteran help in NXT.
Starting to realize that
Turns out his 23andMe came back, and he is in fact part door, which is ironic, seeing as how many people he has put through doors and like the rampway at SmackDown, plenty of tables. He has gored a lot of people through things. I've seen him in person. He is a very large man. I saw him like at Comic-Con in Montreal a couple years ago. Like I was running late and had to meet Zach, and I wanted to do I was doing the Trish Stratus meet and greet. So I felt bad. I wanted to do Rhino one too. I just didn't have time that day.
Drove Mars back into that wall. I can't quite see, but I heard it. Rolling in to restore that count.
I don't think he was at Slammiversary this year. I can't remember. He might have been. He might have just been for the taping. I can't remember.
On to the second level, coming up to me. Mars, the specialist head.
Kushida and Mars showing off the rec room in Edmonton, which, by the way, they just opened a rec room in Montreal in their brand new Montreal, the brand new Super Mall. Which I wonder if they have I doubt they have a venue space in that rec room. But yeah, they just opened a rec room in Montreal, Royal Mount Mall. That's not far from me.
Mars directly behind me.
Like,
on top of the table to my left. What the hell is going on?
It's like a luxury mall. It's like more luxury stores.
Off of that table. There's water and glasses all over the damn place.
This is the rec room in Edmonton. I still have money from the rec room bracelet when I was in Toronto, and I was hanging out with Matt Viviani and Erica instead of watching Money in the Bank. Tajiri has been doing some independence. I'm not 100% sure. Tajiri signed, but like I know he's been doing some independence. Although one of the this is the longest it's been out. Jeez, there we go. Like one of the coolest wrestling pictures of all time is Tajiri and the Great Muta both spitting. Come on. Hold on. Maybe put an end to the championship reign of Mars. To the leg now. Mars versus the big cross body. A little velocity behind that. Yeah, Muta and Tajiri spitting the mist simultaneously. Dope ass picture. There's also the match we're watching on Speedball stream where they basically, and there's no way not to be graphic about it, but they basically snowball mist from one, like from Muta to another gentleman's butt to somebody else. So I think Tajiri was also in that match. They just circle. It's a very weird and amazing match where everyone at some point has the mist in their mouth. Still working in Japan. Thank you, Alexandre. Yeah, he's like he shows up in the States for like big events to do independence. Like I think he was there WrestleMania week. I think he fought Speedball this year at WrestleMania. Might have been the year before.
Feeling that LPW Grand Championship slipping away. Back to his feet. Kushida rolling in. Hits the DDT. Rolling through into the cross breaker.
Smooth as hell.
Full extension.
Also, this match refereed by Referee of the Year, Judge Ben Omens.
Full extension on that Fujikatami, cross arm breaker. Mars looking to try to roll it. Block the finger. And look at the show of
Oh,
from your
power of the short king, one of the short kings, Mars the specialist.
And again, that explosiveness. That seems to be the playbook that Mars is trying to go. And I've mentioned before, winning the title is one thing, but keeping it to a level. Running knee strike right on target. Oh, Kushida, left shoulder up. Mars thought that was the death blow, but this continues. Mars up to his feet. He could be looking for that NDE, the not dead ever.
I think Dakota Kai. I think like it's definitely her time. She has just had one of those wrestlers who's had just dumb luck with injuries for a while. I think it'd be interesting to start with her. Like somebody who's well deserved, who's been working really hard for a long time.
Stealing rope, being dragged off the ropes by Mars. Mars ascending to a high.
And they would have like absolutely like her with those two, they would have absolutely nailed their first two champions for those two belts for that and the United States Championship.
Mars able to fight up. Could be looking for that unique superplex. Hit it.
God.
On target. More strength of the LPW Grand Champion to get back vertical.
Such a strong little man.
Up on the top rope. Mars the
Oh.
win for the moonsault. Nothing but canvas. Both competitors down. Judge Ben Omen administer the 10 count. Mars to his knees. Kushida
Fixed it.
Up to his knees as well. Meeting in the middle.
I remember for his match at Slammiversary that he was supposed to have in Gresham, Kushida was all painted up all day, and sadly, like there might have been this. There was something at that time in Canada, Montreal. There might have been a strike or something, and Jordan Grace was able to get across the border. Jonathan Gresham was not. I think they're coming from two different places, so they had to cancel that match. And he ended up wrestling because it was supposed to be like part of a payoff to the match. His matches with Jonathan Gresham. But it was funny watching Kushida all painted up do meet and greets. Oh, nice transition there. Like they did a poutine meet and greet where they gave like part of like the VIP package at TNA, like fans poutine and water is like either they gave him pre-signed stuff or like I was there waiting for my media tickets and like they were like Takesha like talked to everyone briefly. I don't think they got one-on-one pictures then. They just got like signed stuff like shit, but he was like standing there all in full makeup. Oh, that would be absolute banger of a match. You know what, Exxon? Let's just start a promotion. Because you know what's financially viable and a great idea? An independent wrestling promotion. Those always end well and not in scams and not in bankruptcy. Not one has that ever happened to.
Shoulders off the canvas.
That's the match they should have booked, honestly. They should have had Jordan not been already. That would have been a much better match than both of them were in. My God, because like Jordan Grace, again, I like Ash Bile against the. But Jordan Grace fought Ash Bile against in the title match. But
getting his knees under and able to get to the rope. Got the ball barely, but dragged.
Oh, we are getting all our family members to poorly invest in this terrible idea. They will never see $1 again. But man, that had Jordan Grace stepped up to wrestle Kushida, that would have been amazing.
Almost a 3 count, a great way to escape that hold, but that arm's going to be just torn to shreds. But Mark's going to fight with everything he's got. Backs. Barely escaped. Barely got the shoulder up. Mahi straw cradle. Oh, Mars able to reverse.
1, 2. Oh
man. 2. Can't keep up. I can't do it. Both go for the clothesline. Both hit the canvas. What about in main event? LPW 30 main event 24. Open at 6. It's giving it their all.
I mean, I'd very much like to see it too, but you have to remember he is one of the biggest artists in the world, and he also takes it incredibly seriously, and like is very much a person who would be like training for months ahead of time for it. So I'm highly doubtful, but I'd very much like to see them return to Puerto Rico, like even for a Raw or a SmackDown, like hopefully another PLE. Like having Bad Bunny back for another Puerto Rico show would just be absolutely amazing.
He didn't go through everything he went through this year to become grand champion. Man, to lose it in the last event of the year, charging the ropes. For the heads, there's Kotlar. Now Mars going for that Mars bar. Moving away on that arm. Sheeta, the knees forward, trying to reach out to the bottom rope. That Mars bar been a very successful finish. Mars the specialist.
What do you see?
Sheeta reaching. Got the other arm. Just wrenching away, trying to rip out those shoulder ligaments and tendons. Saying no, Ben saying no.
What do you say?
We got the one, he got the arm free. And able to get to the ropes. Mars had to break the whole damage done. Might have just put the reset button on this whole thing.
All right, we're doing good on time.
I think both men might be equally damaged at this point.
Oh, I should move this back up. I went too low.
There we go. Not a lot of shots, but I mean, what they've gone through up to this point.
I'll be honest, my brother, like, joke on my brother, like every time I do, like, walk by certain places that are like empty storefronts, like big empty storefronts, or like empty theaters, which there are a couple. My first thought is like, I could run a wrestling show here. This would be a cool venue for a wrestling show. Like that theater, that empty theater in St. Henry, the empty theater in NDG on Sherbrooke. Been like the old when before it now is a tenant, but there's a grower that closed, that moved, Akavan, not far from me, and they had a massive storefront. I'm like, honestly, it's big enough that you can hold an independent wrestling show here. You can get like a few.
Has it locked in again. Machine again looking for his head, brings the knees forward. Back up to his feet, using that free arm to come away. It's Kiddo to escape. And again, trying down.
Oh, there it is.
Mars bar.
The bell went off.
The bell. I think we've reached the time limit.
Oh no.
We reached the time limit.
30-minute time limit draw.
And still, Blood Pro Wrestling Grand Champion.
Well, technically, he didn't win, Spencer. It was a, by very definition of the word, draw. He's just still LPW champion.
These two
hell of a match
for 30 minutes. Over the LPW championship, we did not have a decisive winner. We went to the time limit.
Well, you can expect more action like that coming up in January. We've got the Oil Rumble coming up. We've got, after that, Press Play. We've got many events coming up for LPW where you can expect a lot of big surprises, a lot of big names hopefully coming through with the next few months in LPW and every month, and your LPW regulars. I want to thank everyone for hanging out with me today for this solo stream, the first brunch gimmick of the year. Like, we'll be back next week with more people, not just me talking forever. Because literally everyone who would do the show with me was up at like 2, 3 in the morning watching Wrestle Kingdom. And then Wrestle, like last night, I think Wrestle Dynasty started at 11 p.m. Eastern time. So like, that also like finished at like 2, 3 in the, that finished at like 3 in the morning. Whereas like Wrestle Kingdom started at like 3 in the morning or 2, 3 in the morning. So yeah, big weekend there. You can catch next Love Wrestling stream will be Tuesday with Drew, with JPJ for Firmly WWE, where they'll be breaking down obviously Tiffany Stratton cashing in, but also the massive Raw on Netflix coming up tomorrow. It's going to be like a big show. They're probably going long on that one because there's a lot to break down on the potential. They've made it look like a Big 4 pay-per-view, this Netflix debut. It's surely going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot. They're going to fill up those 3 hours. Or as Triple H said, flexible. So it's going to be 16 hours. Who knows at this point? Again, Peggy, thanks for hanging out. Sandy, as always, thank you for being in the chat. And my brother, who I think is one of the first time chatting in here. He has actually been on streams before. He's done a gaming stream and something else, possibly. But yes, my brother Alex for hopping in. As for me, you can follow me at CartSandyG on all my socials and Blue Sky on Instagram and Twitter as well. I will be back here next Sunday with more brunch gimmick. And I hope everyone has a good week and had a happy new year, even though we're past the 3 days, which I agree with. I agree that like over 3 to 4 days is too long. Also, wait, I've got one last thing I almost forgot. Look at this. This week in Love Wrestling, we've got Firmly WWE. We've got the AEW Dynamite Watch Along. We've got on Thursday, Firmly AEW and Between Two Beards at Night. We double JPJ. We've got the Ravenous Randy Myers interview that Zach did. We've got Saturday Night Love with our own big bad Boris. And of course, we've got back Sunday with the brunch gimmick. Big week coming up. And there might be more announcements for Oil Rumble 2 for LPW Cool Beans, which is the next event. up. And obviously more, we'll be talking more about our debut in Calgary for LPW Press Start. Big week. See, Zach put this in there. I almost forgot. He made a point of hopping in here and putting this in there. Our animated calendar. But yes, you can expect on Friday an interview with Ravenous Randy Myers, who will be at LPW Press Start live in Calgary. Look, you absolutely are not. You are a liar. Liar. But again, thanks everyone for hanging out. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your week. It means a lot to us. Have a good one. And